Later this morning, the city of Encinitas is getting more than $3 million to make the street safer.
The number of crashes now involving bicycles and e-bikes has tripled over the last 3 years. Back in June, Brody Champlain Kingman, a teenager on an e-bike, died after he collided with a van near San Diego Academy. That then prompted the Encinitas City Council to declare a local state of emergency. Joining us right now to talk about the push to increase safety in the area, Claire Champlain, Brody's mom, and State Senator Catherine Blakespear. Ladies, good morning. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Let's get a little bit of the background, exactly what this is all about. Some improvements, and this is $3 million that we're getting to make these safety improvements. Used to be mayor of Encinitas.
Right.
A couple of years back, you started this process. This is not something that's just overnight or as a result of the tragedy with Brody. This has been a long time coming. Explain how all this came to be.
Well, when I heard about Brody's tragic accident, I was devastated as a mom, and I have kids that are the exact same age. They both ride e-bikes on those same streets, and it prompted me to work even harder to make sure that this project made it into the state budget. So it's more than $3 million to improve the road, Santa Fe Drive, which is right outside of San Diego Academy where he attended high school. And it's just critically important that we do everything we can to make our streets safer, and particularly with protected bike lanes where bicyclists are separated from cars.
What is the timeline when any type of improvement seems like it needs to be done in the city, the county? Usually takes a really long time to get a lot of money and a lot of time. So what is the timeline for these types of adjustments?
Well, yes, the project starts next month, and we're really excited about that. It will last between 6 and 9 months of construction, and we've been planning it since 2017 in the city of Encinitas when I was the mayor, and together with the city council, we committed to this project. And it's been a high priority because of San Diego Academy and the large number of kids who are riding bikes and walking, and the fact that it just hasn't been improved as a road. And it's really important for all the schools that are around there that we have a better, safer road.
And Claire, we know, I mean, it's tough 3 months after losing Brody to have this happen, because, you know, what the community support has meant to you, I know, has been a lot. But what we just talked about, you know, a lot of the folks there use that same stretch of road.
Right.
They all ride bikes.
Right.
This will save lives. How has life been like for you the last 3 months, and how important is this in your viewpoint?
This project is incredibly important. This can't happen to another family. What my family's suffering and going through right now is just, it's really unimaginable to most people, and these improvements need to be made, and I'm so grateful that they're happening next month.
Now, just a moment ago, saw Brody's picture.
Yeah.
And I glanced over at you, and as a mom, you just don't ever want to see another family go through this. What would you want to see done to this area? What could the community do more so that this doesn't happen to another family again?
I think there's a lot of improvements that could be made for drivers and cyclists. I do think designated bike lanes, lowering speed limits, really just encouraging, just keeping your eyes open, safe driving, looking out for cyclists would really all make a big difference. E-bikes aren't going away. Like you said, the accidents are tripling, and globally, sales of e-bikes are just skyrocketing. So we have to create a community where everyone can get to their destination safe.
When you mention everybody, I've ridden my bike. I have a road bike along that same stretch of road many times. And there is a moment as a cyclist when you're like, well, I need to get past this area anyway. Right. So let's see.
Right.
You're scared, for lack of a better term. Can you tell me more specifically what these improvements entail? Are we talking about actually separating, and what is it going to look like?
Yes. That's a great question, and I think part of it is the fear that people feel when they're on a bicycle, and also as a driver, we all are driving, and we want, obviously, our streets to be safe, and bicyclists and also pedestrians to be safe. So separating the bicyclists from the cars with a barrier, not just with a painted line, but with a barrier is really important. But the issue is also when there are driveways crossing, sometimes it's not as easy to do that type of infrastructure. So making sure that the roads are designed so they're narrower and the speeds are lower, and there are those bulb outs where the cars have to slow down because of trees or shrubbery, other things that are in the road, and then also the way that we organize parking. So ideally, the bicycle lane is on the other side of the parking so that cars aren't pulling through the bike lane to park. So the road designs are very complex, of course.
Sure.
But the commitment to making sure that there's not another child that's killed, and the recognition of just the unimaginable grief that a family goes through when that happens, it is something that those of us who sit in these seats, we take that so seriously. I mean, public safety is the highest charge, and making sure that we continue to improve our roads and do everything we can to make sure that nobody else is injured or killed on our streets is just a top priority.
What breaks everyone's heart, as a public official, when you say, oh, public safety, and sometimes as an audience you hear public safety, and then even us here doing this job,
right.
We talk about things that happen that really we know devastate families, but when you see somebody whose family was affected, it really does break your heart, and you realize something has to be done. How's the family doing? I mean, I know the struggle is still very raw for you guys, but how's the family?
We have highs and lows for sure. We're so proud of Brody every day to this day. I'm just so proud of the young man he is, and I miss him so much. And we're strong until we can't be anymore. And we'll never get over losing him.
And I think he's proud of you, because what's happening here is going to save lives.
Thank you.
We know that.
Well, and can I just say that Claire is so brave to be willing to go on TV,
Exactly.
to come to the press conference, to go to the city council meeting the week that he was killed, to speak to the city council. I mean, that kind of commitment and willing to take her grief in a public way is really something that I admire and just want to recognize, because it's so difficult to do, and I thank you for doing it.
And that really does make a difference when
It
people
does.
sometimes, sadly, need to see the effects of this and,
Right.
and the pain and the hurt that it causes. Claire, we thank you.
Thank
We
you.
thank Brody and everything you're doing.
Thank you.
And Catherine, keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you both.
Appreciate it.